I briefly show you how most of the people find routes on your platform or one of your platforms. Most of the people will search via Google or another search engine and say, well, I would like to cycle, in this case, cycling in Amsterdam. Of course, you can put advertisements in, but I will show you that it's also interesting to provide your routes on one of those digital platforms, as you see here a few. I'm going to select the one of RouteYou, and here you get then a selection of routes. What those digital platforms do is, of course, show you many options in the area and also give you extra functionality to filter on specific routes, such as, for instance, I'm only interested in the language English. I can't read Dutch, so I have the English options. I'm going to select then this one. It's an interesting one. I see that the tourist organization of Gooi en Vecht is responsible for it, so that's clear. And the system, as a user, I can see immediately what's there to see, what can I do in the area, what's the distance, can I use other maps to select the area and to investigate what's available. So it's a junction network in this case. So as a user, those platforms also provide me to open it in apps, to print the routes, or to download them in many other kind of options available. So that's one example. What a lot of tourist organizations do is not only have their own channel on those platforms, but have their own channel. This is an example here of Visit Brussels, the Brussels Tourist Organization, which provides all their routes in a closed environment, so not an open one like this one. It's based on the same technology, but they have also the same functionality to use the routes, to print them, to download them, to have all these options available. What's also nice is that they allow users to create their own content based on the interesting information the tourist organization has. For instance, let me demonstrate. They provide a round trip of about 50 kilometers as a cyclist, and you can follow the node network, which is there available, starting from your current position. Of course, you have to allow that. And you immediately, as a user, can view the route, and here's all the information available. So now I can follow the route over the node network. So that's a very interesting network provided by the tourist organizations in most of the cases, with points of interest, what's there to see, what can you do. So as a user, you have some extra flexibility to provide that information. So on exposure part, let's also give a very short view on that one. For instance, I would like to search for a route in, yeah, that's another one. So most of those platforms provide worldwide information, so that makes it interesting for the user. You don't depend on a certain area. But let's go, for instance, to Valkenburg and say I'm interested in the area of Valkenburg. Just to show you some examples of the long tail which comes later on. It allows you to filter certain points of interests, that to say I'm interested in wine. Here I get a very long list of themes which are available. And now as a user, I can select show me routes, in this case, cycling routes, which are related to wine. I'm just going to show you one example. Again, the same thing. I get a lot of information of what's there to see along the route. But I also get statistics, those users, for instance, this provider of tourist organization, only on this platform. Let's have a look at their statistics. This is about 497 routes they offer, which is quite a lot. So only on this platform, not on their own platform, they have a lot of exposure. Here you see the evolution, and the nice part is you see it's nicely growing up, especially the last 2 years where there was a lot of demand. So here you have almost 1 million exposures, and here you have 1.2 million exposures just on one platform. So that shows you the strength of those platforms also as a means to promote your tourist content. So that was in a nutshell what some of the functionalities.